Check out Oddprophet store in the description and use the code HAKOBO25 to get 25% off your order. Only available for the first 25 orders. Also, stick around, because I'm going to be breaking down one of his signature sounds step by step. Let me tell you a story. Recently, I transferred to San Diego Christian College. Among the classes that I was initially assigned for my junior year, I noticed I had an intro to art class. So, going into this art class, I was presented with two problems. One, I don't know how to draw. And two, our teacher didn't actually teach us anything about drawing. She would just sit far back from the camera with a mask on, this little old lady, and she would just tell us a couple things about nature, what the assignment was about, and then tell us we can leave. So my whole drawing career was kind of just up to me. Let's take a... She gave me a C. I decided to do something about it. Along came one of my family members, we'll call her Aunt Jemima, and she came and taught me some things about painting and drawing. She gave me a blending stick and taught me how to properly shade and how to just look for certain shapes to determine how you want to shape your picture. I had a Bai bottle, which is kind of a drink if you don't know what that is, and it had blueberries on it. So I took the bottle and I traced around the circle of the bottle and I started blending in and making these blueberries, and she gave me like an eraser pen for like shading on these leaves that were there, and I went from doing this to this picture of some blueberries. Look at that thing. Look, I'm legitimately proud of this. Just look at. Not only that, but I made a new portrait, and she gave me. Do you see where I'm going with this? The point is, it's just with a little bit of help from someone who knew what they were doing, I was able to vastly create better art. Alright, get to the point. This video is sponsored by Oddprophet. I'm gonna talk, this is it's Oddprophet. It's Oddprophet. So I was actually approached by a couple different people to promote serum patches. And for one of them, I actually flat out refused because when they sent me the presets and I checked them out, they weren't to a quality that I felt I was comfortable showing you guys. So I actually refused money because I didn't want to promote something to you guys that I didn't think was worth your time.
This was not that sponsor!
These presets are so good. These are presets that you can just tell right out of the box are things that he personally uses in his music. They have macros, he spent time on them, he spent passion. They're just, I tried to pick my favorite between these two so I could recommend one of them to you, and I just can't. Both of them, they're just, guys, there's free stuff in here. The prices for them are more than half off of what other companies try to sell their crappy presets for. Although I'm not really sure what that little symbol right next, it's what? Pounds of what? I literally sat down with all of his presets and his samples and busted this tune out in an hour. We got a couple patches here from his pack for the Bold. It's got the Unreal Machine. It's got these macro knobs that switch up the timbre. You can sustain it out right here. That's just crunchy, man. Got this one called Thick Toes. Frickin' this macro 3. This patch the ever loving's just nuts. Go down an octave, it still sounds good. He gave us the green light to break down sound step by step, so I'm just going to go through and show you one of his signature sounds that just uses some basic wavetables. For this, he just used analog BD sine and kept the simple saw wave from the default patch. Knock this down to -3, knock this down to -1. Let's turn off the level for this and start getting our LFOs together. You move this just over here. Brought the point down to, I'd say, about this little spot. Put this up here. Got this going over here. Brought that down. And that's pretty much it. You don't have to be too precise. That's what I like about this patch. And then he brought this down to 2-bar and trigger. And this creates that weird shape that just comes up at first and then over time just sort of increases, which is really nice. For the second LFO, he just brought this down about, I would say, just above the middle point, and then brought this up right here, and then did this cool little swoop right here, like that. That's it. Again, not being too accurate, not super important. You're still going to get a real nice sound out of it. Now with this, he threw it on the wavetable position and put it on a real nice number right there, just to get a little bit of movement out of the sine wave. For FM from B, he put it on 38% right here. And then threw it in 25. Let's go ahead and play this right now. And you'll notice that FM from B is what's bringing out that interesting tone that kind of defines the sound that we're looking for. So what he did to really boost that up is to throw on an insane band 12. And he just knocked the drive up to about 77. Knocked the fat all the way up. Knocked the resonance up to about 26%. And then put this on about 370 hertz, and then right to left 64 with LFO 1. You know, I have to hold Shift and Alt just to get it like this, and you got going up. And this is going to really bring out that tone some more. Super loud. Next, we're going to direct out a sub just to get some cool bass tones under there. We're going to put this on 22%. And also use LFO 1 to bring it up to about 63. He also threw it on this little more harmonic sine wave, I believe. I don't really know the difference. Whatever. For effects, he put on the filter first, which I really like because it really starts to get the shaping before all of the power, the distortion, the compressor. So instead of doing the filter after and losing some of that power and some of those frequencies, he does it before to capitalize on that movement, which I really like. He put this on comb L6-, brought the frequency down to 64. I'll do 63 because it's not too important. And then he just put that second LFO we made on here and put it on 10. Next, he knocked up the resonance to 32 and then puts LFO 1 on it for a whopping 55. That's fine. All right. Then he knocks up the drive and the LP frequency, and this just gets our sound going already. My goodness. He puts on the hyperdimension and brings a rate and the detune all the way up like a madman. Puts the unison on 7, and then what he does is he actually puts the mix on 15%, but then creates a macro over here, putting it on the mix and bringing that up to about, I would say, 33. Right there. And what this will do is if you move this macro, it just does a really cool effect that you can play around with. Next up, he puts some tube distortion and has the distortion come post EQ. He knocks this up to a high pass, keeps this all about the same, and then knocks the drive up to about 50%. And then he just brings it down to 68%, but we're gonna do a little bit better than that. All right. And that kind of just gets a little bit more grit. It's barely noticeable, but it usually comes out a little bit more when you throw some more effects on there, especially a compressor. Next up, we're doing some delay, which you'll have going on during the sound. He turns link on, turns BPM off, and then knocks us down to around 37. Anywhere around there is good. And then just kind of leaves everything else the same and puts the mix up to 75%. And this is one of those subtle effects that happens during the sound, and you can hear it kind of delay in the upper left and right corners, and it kind of just helps to fill out the sound a little bit more. Next up, he puts on a compressor. He keeps the mix the same and everything the same, and all he kind of just does is bring down the release a bit to help kind of get the tail end of the sound off a little bit, but he just puts the compressor on the whole sound to kind of tone it back some of the more pressing frequencies. And then he throws on a reverb, and what he does with the reverb that I really enjoy is he actually ties it to a macro. He just puts it on there like that, and then just kind of boop, that. He has this on plate and has the pre-delay it down just a little bit. Puts the low cut up, which is always important because you don't want those low frequencies to echo as much as the high frequencies, which he puts up like that, and then puts the width all the way up. What he also did too is he took that macro and he put it on the sub in order to turn it down anytime that macro is used. So if you do decide to go in and use some reverb, you're not reverbing some sub accidentally. Last but not least, he just throws on some EQ. Boost this up a little bit at the top. Whoop. Get some big Q going there. Brought it up about, I would say right about here. Get even more Q. And then he just kind of tailed off this just like that. Simple as that. Leaves plenty of room for the sub. And we have our sound. So that's going to wrap up this video. I can't recommend these patches enough. Link in the description for the shop. Thank you so much to Oddprophet for giving me the opportunity to make a video about his sounds, because they are absolutely banging. They are amazing. I love them, and I'm going to use and learn from them. I recommend you go check them out. Thank you so much to my Patreons for dropping by and just being supportive. All you guys are super supportive. So thank you so much for getting me to a point where I can make videos like this. It means the world to me. So thank you so much. Other than that, be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video. If you want to leave a comment, I read every single one of them. If you want to join my Discord community, the link is in the description. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day.